So last night I set out a couple of moth traps, and I'm going to take you guys with me to go through them. Now it's not just moths attracted to our UV, we do get some other invertebrates. Hornets are quite a big one near the end of the season. Looks like we might have a crab spider here as well. It's quite interesting. Don't get too many spiders in the trap. Pulling out the next bit of cardboard, we've got a micro. Oh, this one looks like it might have something on it. We have a cockroach. So we do have a few native cockroach species in the UK, and this is one of them. We've got another moth here, so this is one of the yellow underwings. I think this might be a lesser yellow underwing. Believe it or not, that is a moth. It is absolutely tiny and just looks like a bit of bark or sawdust, but that is in fact a moth. We've got a large yellow underwing, and I believe a square spot rustic, as well as a smaller caddisfly sitting in there. Got another spider. This one I believe is a European nursery web spider. So although I just said we hardly ever get any, we now have two. We've got another micro moth. This one I think is the light brown apple moth. So now we've taken all of the egg cartons out, we can have a look around for what might be left. So we have a large yellow underwing. We have another large yellow underwing. I think this is an Aporophylla species, so I think it might be a brown dart. We've got up here somewhere, I believe this one is a brindled green potentially, as well as a nice Australian invasive species. So this is the ruddy streak. Last year this was one of the most common moths we found. So it was quite a bit more than I was expecting in that UV trap. So now I'm heading over to our Mercury Vapour trap. Now I believe Mercury Vapours are supposed to be more efficient than UV, so hopefully this one might have a few more in there. Always check the inside of the lid first. Nothing today, but sometimes there is. What do we have in here? Quite a few by the looks of it. That is a very impressive turnout, more than I was expecting. Including a very special one here. I think I might have to go and grab some pots. Yeah, this is potentially a blue underwing. Now it is rather battered, which means this one has probably been alive a very long time and has done a hell of a lot of flying. You can see all the scales on the head have rubbed off. So if you didn't know, Lepidoptera, which is the scientific name for our butterflies and moths, it means scale wing. You can just about see on this guy, all of his back, or her back, are lots of little scales. And the ones on the head have been rubbed off. Now I just went to pop this one into a pot. I know it's quite small, but it was just for the time being whilst I went through the others. And it has shown me that very nice blue underwing at the back there, albeit very battered, but that just means this moth has a nice story to tell. This is an amazing find, and I will love popping this one on our species list. A bigger pot has been acquired, sitting in there all nice. We have an acorn, as I did put the trap underneath an oak. We have got one of our thorn moths, which I love. They are very impressive. Let's see if I can get a better angle to get a nice picture from. So I think this guy's wings have been damaged a little bit. Hopefully they will reset themselves in the pot. And this is one of our thorn species. I believe maybe a dusky thorn. Now I mentioned putting him in a pot. Normally I don't put all of the moths in pots. However, today we have a school group that we are running, and they're doing some bug hunting, and I always find it's nice to show some of the kids some of the moths. Have a look at this one. quite a lot of moths, some of which I might not know the name of off the top of my head, but I'm sure when I find out I'll pop it on screen for you. We got two large yellow underwings in this one. We've got a broad bordered yellow underwing and a lesser broad bordered yellow underwing. So this is our nice little yellow underwing tray. We've got three different species. This one is what we call a species complex, which means there's two species that for the most part are extremely difficult to tell apart. However, I know the most common one is the lesser broad bordered yellow underwing. I know it is bad to assume, but I will on this occasion. I believe the other one is called the Langmaid's yellow underwing. We have around, I believe, 1,600 micro moths and 900 macro moths, so quite a lot to see. Now on site here, I believe before this survey we were up to 296 species, so we're only looking at 4 more to hit that nice round 300. Oh, we've got something trying to fly off there. Get to that one in a second. Oh, we've got another thing flying around. So we've got some more small tortrixes. Some of these are a bit faded. They might also be the light brown apple moth. I'll have to double check. This one looks like he has a bit of like a webbing pattern on his back. A large yellow underwing again, and another one. Now, as you can tell, the large yellow underwing does seem to be a common species. It is one of the ones we get the most here, and I believe across the country too. So this one is the sallow. I'll have to double check, but I believe this is a BAP, so a Biodiversity Action Plan Priority Species. I believe this is in the research category of common but declining moths, so it's always nice to be able to find some of these. Nothing else on that carton. So I have already shown a little moth like this. So these are our pug moths. They always lay quite flat. So these are meant to be masters of camouflage. I'm sure if this one was against some tree bark, you would barely be able to see it. Anything else? Oh, is that another sallow potentially with very faded markings? I'll have to double check on that one. And we've got a large yellow underwing in there, and then another caddisfly. What is this? I think this might be a lunar underwing. So although it is an underwing species, it isn't related to our yellow underwings. And this one is the Australian invasive. So some places call it the Australian orange tip, some places call it the ruddy streak. But as you can see, it has those bright orange tips. So I think the other one was the exact same species, just without that orange end to its wings. Oh, there we go. This is one of my absolute favourite moths. This is the black rustic. Now these guys come out quite late in the season. I only had my first ones the other day, and it's always nice to see them. They are such a striking jet black colour, something you can't properly appreciate through a screen. So hopefully one day you guys will also have one of these. These are by far in my top 10 moths. On the other side we have something. I believe that's another caddisfly. Just make sure I get a picture of this one before I forget. There we go. What else are we looking at in here? We have another large yellow underwing with that acorn sitting on top. And then this is one that is in the same genus. So this is the brown dart, I believe. One of them. I think there's a couple. This is in the same genus as the black rustics, the Aporophylla genus. Ooh, and then almost missed one there. Ooh, this might be another lunar underwing, or there's a slight chance it is the other one in this genus, which is the Agricola genus. That is the beaded chestnut, which we've only had one of before. Got another large yellow. Ooh, and a water beetle. So we've had a cockroach, caddisflies, a hornet, and now a water beetle inside our trap. All things that aren't moths, but it's always nice to be able to see them. Another caddisfly there as well. Definitely had some good ones, especially with that blue underwing. Now it may be really battered, but I will try and get some nice pictures, as that is definitely a nice rarity for the site. Now, I don't think we quite hit our 300 species. I think we're going to be around the 298 mark. That just means I'll have to do another video.